of shows away from networks to make more money. Hey, alliteration. But alright, there's been some shows I haven't talked about in a while, so I'd like to take a look at their seasons and how they just improved over their seasons. I'm only going to be taking a look, though, at 1 or 2 seasons for each show, so let's just get on with it, I guess. Drake and Josh. The last time I talked about the show was about a year and a half ago. Now for this, I want to look at Season 2. Considering I looked at every episode of Season 1 in like 45 minutes, that's a world record. Hey, that's me! For Season 2, I don't have too much to say. It's pretty similar to the first, but with sharper writing, better episode concepts, and just way more episodes in general. Some of the most iconic episodes of the whole show from this season, like The Bet, Blues Brothers, and Drew and Jerry. You can see the slow start to Josh's weight loss, but it's not super noticeable till Season 3. I haven't actually seen all the episodes like Guitar and Blues Brothers and Driver's License. I think it's because of some rights issues, because the episodes are not on Hulu, and I believe they're also not on Paramount Plus. I think my personal favorite might be Honor Council, because, okay, hear me out. I've always enjoyed court-themed episodes of TV shows and cartoons and stuff. I've also always enjoyed the character of Mindy, who was originally Josh's rival turned girlfriend, and honestly, she's a Chad. Thank you, Austin Scagliotti. I think that's the name of a pasta dish. Anyways, about the episode, it involves Drake being framed for placing a car in their teacher's classroom, Mrs. Hafer. So Josh is Drake's lawyer, and Mindy is Mrs. Hafer's lawyer. You find out Mindy did the whole thing because, like, Mrs. Hafer gave her a B. I'm gonna commit a crime and frame a man. But yeah, it's a pretty good episode and a pretty good season. Yes, the critically acclaimed iCarly, premiering in 2007, which its first episode I've already mentioned at least once in my life. That's the requirement. Its first season is much different than the other seasons. I like how it's probably the most internet-focused season of them all, but I don't like how there's not as much character-focused stuff. And I'm not talking about shipping, but you best believe I can talk about that literally all day. Also, Freddy. That's all. I like the fencing episode. He's Freddy. He's probably, like, the best character in the show, aside from, like, maybe Gibby, or Spencer, or Tebow. So, like, all the guys in the show, I guess. Characters like Tebow, or heck, the entire set of the Goofies movie didn't exist yet. Gibby's sort of in it, but he's not a primary character. Technically, he didn't become one until Season 4. Anyways, about the episodes I like. There's the TV-themed one. I'm kind of surprised I thought of this in Season 1. It feels like a pretty far-out concept being used in the first season of your show. It's kind of like that one Season 5 episode of The Simpsons, Bart Gets an Elephant. Imagine that being in the first season. But YouTubers having their own television series really hadn't existed yet, so it was a pretty new concept. Anyways, about iCarly. I don't really have much to say about the first season. It's pretty much just the first season. Now the second season. For this, let's go with the 5-season layout of iCarly. Because pretty much, the 5-season layout makes seasons 2 and 3 combined, with a total of 39 episodes, whereas the 6th season layout has them as 2 separate seasons. Anyways, this is definitely the golden age of iCarly. So alright, Season 2, it does genuinely have some really good episodes. There's a lot more character-driven stuff, but still a lot of internet in it. My personal favorites are iKiss, iChristmas, and iTwins. Coincidentally, some of the few episodes of the seasons that are just and then one word. Alright, so moving on to Season 3, or Season 2 Part 2, I guess. It's pretty much the same as Season 2. There's only a few differences. That's why I just lumped them together. But my favorites of this season are I Speed Date, I Saved Your Life, I Quit iCarly, and I Psycho. Not much more to say. The first season of The Fairly Odd Parents. The second shortest season of the show, aside from Season 8, which was just full of specials, and there was only a total of 5 episodes. Some sources say Christmas Every Day is the season finale, but others say it's from Season 2. I personally look at it as a really good season finale, so yeah, that's why I go with option A. It's a good season, it introduces a bunch of characters, and honestly, it might be my favorite season of the whole show. It just has so much heart, and it's really charming, and I don't really know how to describe it. Season 1 is definitely Cosmo's best. That car salesman voice that I loved in the Oh Yeah cartoons is pretty good here. It's a bit higher pitched, so he gets, I guess, a bit more stupidity or character. I wouldn't really know how to describe it, but I'd say this is probably the best Cosmo era, I guess. But I don't actually know if Season 1 is my favorite season. It's really hard. I love Seasons 2, 3, and 4. 5 is alright, I guess, and 6 isn't actually too different from 5, but that's the start of the Dark Age, I guess. I don't fully know what to call it. Anyways, going back to season 1, I love the animation's lower saturated colors. And it is probably the worst looking season of the show, but I think it has a certain charm. I mean, it's not like it's that horrible, like The Simpsons season 1, but you can kind of tell it looks a bit different. But I think this more, almost like darker, not as bright color scheme really works in the show's favor, and I kind of wish they kept it like this. I don't know, something about it is just really good. Like I said, even though The Simpsons season 1 doesn't have the best animation, I still don't hate it. It has a certain charm that I like, kind of like, I don't know, maybe like the Rugrats season 1. Anyways, my favorite episode of this season is Father Time. Shocking, I know, it's not that crazy of an opinion. It's just a really good Timmy's Dad episode. I love time travel, and I like the alternate future stuff. But that's kind of all I gotta say about the first season. So on to season 2. Season 2 really just improves, I guess. I don't really know. I mean, season 1 is probably more quality overall, but there's only a total of 7 episodes. There's maybe only like 2 just episodes. But yeah, realistically, season 2 probably just improves over the first. That's really the only thing I have to say about it. But I guess I'd say it's like my 3rd or 4th favorite season of the whole show. Like I said, I still love 1, 3, and 4. It introduces a lot more stuff, like the Anti-Fairies, Tootie, and the man, the myth, the legend, Chip Skylark. Yeah, this season is pretty 2000s. That wasn't an insult, that was a compliment if anything. That's pretty much all I had to say. Moving on to the next show, I guess. A year after the Jimmy Neutron movie came out, the series was made. Well, that wasn't the original plan, but they decided to start with a movie, and if that did well, they'd make the series. It was a critical and financial success, so in 2002, we get the first episode of The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. I literally never call it that, though. I just say Jimmy Neutron, or maybe the Jimmy Neutron show, and then the Jimmy Neutron movie. The first season is pretty good, although you can tell it's way closer to the movie than like season 2 or 3. Jimmy and Cindy wasn't really a thing. Libby still has her movie design, although Cindy's was changed by episode 1. I guess they already had that planned as soon as production on the show started. Jimmy also got a slightly different design that many people overlook. There's really only 2 differences. His shorts would change to pants, and his brown, more classy, I guess, shoes got changed to these cool white sneakers. One of my personal highlights from this season was the Eggpire Strikes Back, where the Yokians from the movie take revenge. So yeah, I really enjoyed that episode. The writing in the first season is pretty good. I mean, it obviously will be improved, so yeah, I guess I don't have much else to say. The show improved, like most of the other seasons, and yeah, it's kind of all. Alright, it's been like, April 2022? Yeah, Phineas and Ferb. It sure had a first season. It was rougher than the other seasons, and the same things I've already said about the others. No, I actually do have some things to say about the first season. Like how in the early episodes, it was pretty much just Phineas, Ferb, and Isabella. Buford and Baljeet wouldn't be introduced until episode 5, and it still took them a bit to be in, like, every episode. Same goes for the songs. The show was known for having at least one original song per episode. But that wasn't the case for the first couple, though. Some had songs, but not all. And so, of course, this would also be changed. Now, for the animation, it's just way more off-model, and I guess just looks more amateurish, is the word, I guess. Now, for my personal favorite, probably of the entire season, is Out to Launch, the space episode. I mean, it's not like they didn't go to space after this episode. Literally, there's a Star Wars crossover and a movie, Candace Against the Universe, the second Phineas and Ferb movie. But I'm just saying, I still enjoy it. It was like the first space episode, I believe. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say on the first season. So, let's move on to season 2. So season 2, which ran mostly from 2009 to 2010. It's a great season, I mean all of them are, but you get the point. This season has the Christmas special, the first Meep episode, Roller Coaster the Musical, and my personal favorite episode of not just this season, but the whole show is Perry Lays an Egg. Yep, and there's Summer Belongs to You, I guess. I'll get into why these, well pretty much just Perry Lays an Egg, are masterpieces, they're works of art, but sometime in the future. But yeah, season 2 just builds on the first season, gets way more ambitious, has better animation, and it has more Buford. And that was season 1's biggest flaw. Alright, the only new show, and also the final one. Kenan and Kel originates back to All That, similar to how Drake and Josh originated from The Amanda Show. But yeah, Kenan Thompson and Kel Mitchell were good friends and they had good chemistry. So they got a buddy comedy in 1996, which they also sort of got a movie in 1997, the classic Good Burger, which was a sketch on All That. So it's pretty much a movie of both of the shows, All That and Kenan and Kel. I'm also really excited for Good Burger too. I'm surprised they're actually calling it that. Most reboots don't have a number at the end. Think Rocky Balboa, the sixth Rocky movie. It was released 16 years after Rocky 5. I guess 5 is alright, but 6. Oh no, that's too many. Anyways, yeah, Kenan and Kel is great. Pretty much before each episode, there's a segment where Kenan and Kel go on stage and interact with the audience. They did this at Universal in Orlando, and this makes me upset, because guess what? I'm the Florida guy! Anyways, even though it's called Kenan and Kel, I would say it's more Kenan focused. The family you see in the show is Kenan's, not Kel's. There's Kenan's little sister, who would be fitted at the show around season 3-ish, because she wasn't the cute little girl anymore. She was getting older. There's Kenan's mom, Cheryl. There's the legend himself, Roger. Kenan's dad. Man, Roger is great. Oh my god. I love Roger so much. He's like honestly one of the greatest characters ever made, right up there with like Carl and probably like I don't know, maybe like Henry Winkler. There's also Chris, Kenan's boss. He's a loser. He doesn't have much other character. I guess if I were to compare him to any other character, it would probably be Skinner from The Simpsons. But for the actual season, it's just another first season. Although I do have to say, my favorite episode from this season, and probably the whole show, is Doing Things the Hemingway. Pretty much, Kenan wants to accomplish some life goals. The best part of this is when him and Kel climb the Sears Tower. It's just great. I don't want to get too into it right now. So yeah, Kenan and Kel, they had a great first season during mostly 1996. Got popular, they had a movie in 97, and that's history. Alright, 9 seasons later, and feeling a little punky, I guess. A bunch of show seasons. A bunch of show seasons. A bunch of show seasons.